So this is what the lights look like before. You can see they got that stock halogen color to them coming out of the projector. Alright. So you can see this is the kit that I'm going to be installing. This is the BeamTech. Got some pretty good reviews on this one. Show you what's inside here. I looked at another YouTuber's channel. He kind of showed, I think, like 3 to 5 different reviews of all the Amazon bulbs. So these seem to be the best. They weren't the most expensive, but I liked how the LEDs kind of did that shape where it's like mimicking the old halogen filament. I could show you here. So you can see how with the stock bulb, the filament is pretty much the same length. So that should give a good good stock beam pattern that is correct. So I'll go ahead and show you what these guys look like when they're installed and how to install them. So I just wanted to show you real quick what they look, one side looks like installed before I show you how to get the bulbs and the headlights. But this is the newly installed LED side, and in comparison with the old halogen side. So this is a quick look at the bulbs side by side. You can see there's not really any more glare than the stock one. If anything, the stock gives more glare than the LEDs. Just wanted to show you this real quick so you can see what they look like side by side before I show you how to install them. So yeah, that's what that looks like. Alright, also, so on this side, which is the passenger side of the car, you got your ABS, ESP, brake line control units. So really it just kind of takes having some, I guess, skinny wrists like me to get in there and do it. I mean, you could probably just pop this guy out, which is just, intake air hose. You could probably get your arm in there if you got, bigger hands or something. But that's how you get in there from the passenger side. I consider that probably the easier side until you take out the coolant reservoir on the driver's side. So, this one's a lot tighter. I mean, I can't even really get my hands in there too well. So what I always do is this guy on the coolant reservoir, there's a little tab. I've already kind of backed it out, so you just put like a little screwdriver. You'll see it's a Phillips head on there, and you just kind of put it on there, and then you'll just, once it's out like that, you just pull that out, set that aside, and then this coolant reservoir just kind of pulls out with these little rubber grommets at the bottom. And so you set that aside. That'll give you much more room to get in here and mess with the driver's side bulb. Just be very careful of this right here. These connections sometimes are fragile on, some people's cars if they're older. But so yeah, now I'll get to the next. Alright, so as we can see here, I've already put the other side in, kind of did a trial run to make sure I know smoothly how everything needs to go. So you can see here, you got your headlight right there. You come around the back, you're gonna grab this little cover, you're gonna twist it counterclockwise. Sometimes it's a little tough, so don't be afraid to crank on it. I'll put the phone in here, camera down in here. And this is kind of what's going on in there. You've got this, that's the bulb connector. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna kind of, once again, go in there and grab that and kind of twist counterclockwise again. And this is what you're gonna see. So you're gonna see your, focus here real quick. So you're gonna see this. And so basically all you gotta do is pull the bulb itself out of this metal clip that's latched onto the black plastic. So normally what I do is I stick like a screwdriver or something in here and just kind of twist it out. I mean, you can grab on the glass carefully and just pull it out, but you have to wipe the bulb off afterwards to make sure that it's, you know, it'll burn out early if you leave your fingerprints on there. So you can just kind of, let's see here. Kind of crank it side to side, but I don't really plan on using these bulbs. This just kind of pushes in to this guy here, and this part will stay inside there. But to get these LED bulbs in there, you're gonna have to take off this clip anyways and kind of modify it so that the bulbs stay in there. So you just kind of lift up on those tabs, kind of like that, till it comes off. You can see this is a little clip here. So this is gonna have to go around that bulb so that you can, this is, these little two tabs on the end here would actually mount it to the headlight. So you have to make this, you know, square piece in the center here bigger so it fits around the top of this thing. So this twists off one way or the other. Let's see. And you just slide that off. I'm sure for most manufacturers that's kind of how it is. I don't really know what this O-ring's intended purpose is. I don't know what it's supposed to be sealing. The headlight housing's sealed already with that black cover we took off earlier, so I'm not going to use those. But I'll show you how to modify the bracket here a little bit. Alright, so as you can see, kind of what went into modifying these two brackets here. So you can see this one's how it comes with the car. They're just kind of square here. So I had to I just kind of like broke off the center here. It's probably better to nip it. I couldn't find my sheet metal kind of cutters, so I just kind of like bent them back. You can see just whatever you gotta do to make that hole bigger. I mean, the thing's still very rigid, it's not fragile or anything. Also bent these tabs back that hold it to that black connector stock. You don't really need them because, I mean, you can probably cut those off too if you don't ever plan to switch back to regular bulbs, or just get a backup connector, bracket that is, from the junkyard or something. So you could probably just cut these guys off too, the little tabs that hold it to that black connector. But yeah, so you can see I needed to make it that big so that, you know, they fit over that thing. So I mean, you can see this will not fit all the way down to mount on there unless it's this big. And it goes all the way down. So that's kind of what I had to do it. I mean, you can call it hokey if you like. I got it to sit very snugly into the housing, so I'm gonna run them like these. Feel free to do that yourself, but let's kind of do this at your own risk, because I don't know how easy it would be to modify the bracket back to use stock bulbs, but I just take this after and slide that over. You find your little points. It kind of, you can see it, gotta focus it, sorry. You can see those little notches that this thing's gotta kind of drop into. There you go. So, and then the way these brackets sit on the stock bulbs, what you gotta do for this modification too, that little tab sits into those two guys right there. Those two little teeth sticking up. Not on the side with the one, on the side with the two. So basically what happens is this would, sorry, it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. Let's see if I can set the camera up here. All right, so I can show you basically this guy would sit in there. Move this over, hold on. So you can see this guy kind of sits. Trying to focus this thing, sorry about this. So then you kind of sit this guy and it kind of sits in there like that. So that outer tab here sits on the outside of it. The little one sits on the inside of it. So that kind of just holds that. And that basically makes it so that this bracket locks so that when you're turning it, the bulb goes with it. So, same principle. You apply to this. So what I kind of had to do was just kind of rotate this guy until I find those, and you just kind of drop it in there. I mean, you just got to kind of bend the bracket a little bit until he gets in there. And then, you know, you just get this guy and you can see in the top, that would then allow you to twist the whole thing as a pair. Let's see if I can get it. It's kind of a tight fit, but hey, it's what you got to do for this car, right? All right, so you can kind of hear how that is on there. And I mean, look at this. I mean, this is, once you get on there, I mean, it's on there. It's not loose at all. It just takes, you know, a little bit of fabrication skills, I guess, and figuring out how to twist the bracket and stuff. So one thing I noticed when I first put it in, when I put it into the housing, it was kind of, you know, jiggling loose in there, but all you really have to do is push these tabs that mount it to the car. You just push them back, you know, you get some pliers or something, and you just grab them and you kind of just twist them back a little bit so that they you know, make the connection tighter. And really, you know, working for Mercedes-Benz and replacing these H7 bulbs all the time, I mean, I had to replace those, or bend those brackets a little bit to get the bulbs to fit in the stock housings a little tighter too. So it's nothing really out of the ordinary on that part, but so that's kind of my setup there for getting these mounted into the car. I guess next I'll show you what they look like. You just pretty much from this part, you just put them in there and twist them back in correctly. So one thing I did notice that might help you is you notice that these little tabs that stick out on the side kind of hang out closer down to one side or the other. Like they're not perfectly on 180 of one another. So I want to make sure that the side that these are closer to, probably with this tab on it, are facing down. This tab faces down when you put the bulb in. All right, so I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like with the bulbs installed. All right, so I'm gonna show you kind of how I have it mounted on the other headlight first before I mess with the thing. So you can see I already got it in here. See if I can get a good angle on it, but you can kind of see that it's pretty tight in there. I mean, that's as much as a regular bulb would wiggle in there. So I don't think I really need to explain this too much, but you know, once you get the bulb in there, all I gotta do, grab this little guy, try and show you. So this guy just plugs into that black connector that you pop the clip off of. See that? It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, you basically just plug in this guy. Looks like a wall plug for any of your electronics at home into that black plug that was plugged into the bulb from the beginning. Alright, so after all is said and done, there you go. We got both sides in now. We got another video that showed the other one on each side by side comparison. So I mean, I like it. I gotta change the little ones here, the little tiny bulb, that kind of running light, change that to like LED 2. I'll do a separate video on how to do that, but let me close the garage again. I'll show you how it looks. Alright. The beam pattern seems really good. It's very low glare. They're definitely brighter than stock bulbs. I believe I want to say the YouTube channel was like the Mechanic Guys. I watched his video. I mean, the whole point of me making this video was because I wanted to do this and I couldn't really find any information or videos of somebody actually doing it or how they got them in. I think the Mechanic Guys said that they didn't really want to show what they did to get it done, but I mean, look at that clean beam pattern. I mean, there's like not any more glare than a stock bulb would give. So yeah, I'll show a video probably after this of driving down the road, the before one, but I mean, that works out really well. So I don't mind showing, you know, the way I got them in, because the bulbs are secure in there. It works, you know. I mean, I'm hitting the car right now. I'm like banging on the headlight, and you can see that they really don't shake at all. So do it to this side too, just to show how secure they are in there. I mean, that's pretty solid to me. So if you got questions or anything, you know, you can just comment, and I should reply and answer any questions you have. But if you like the video, you know, subscribe, and I'll be doing more videos on stuff that I do to this car, my W211 Mercedes-Benz 2008 E350. Plan to put more LEDs, and any repairs that I do to this car I'll definitely make a video on. So yeah, stay tuned.